Hi all, John Jarvis here from firstpagetraffic.com. This is going to be the starting point in a series on how to be first on Google and search engine ranking factors. This series, full of search engine optimization SEO tips, will teach anyone from beginners to seasoned old dogs. There have been and will continue to be major changes in search engine algorithms over the past couple of years, and this is going to be an up-to-date series. Let's get on with some of these SEO tips. Search engine ranking factors. Tip number 1. Domain registration length. A Google patent says, valuable, legitimate domains are often paid for several years in advance, while doorway, illegitimate domains, rarely are used for more than a year. Therefore, the date when a domain expires in the future can be used as a factor in predicting the legitimacy of a domain. In other words, register a domain name for a minimum 2-year period. SEO tip number 2. Keyword as the first word in the domain name. SEO Moz's 2011 Search Engine Ranking Factors panelists agreed that a domain that starts with their target keyword has an edge over sites that either don't have the keyword in their domain or have the keyword in the middle or the end of their domain. Search engine ranking factors tip number 3. The domain history. A site with a volatile ownership via Whois may tell Google to reset the site's history, negating links that happen to point to that domain. Tip number 4. Private versus public Whois. Matt Cutts is quoted as saying, "When I checked the Whois on them, they all had Whois Privacy Protection Service. That was unusual. Having Whois privacy turned on isn't automatically bad, but once you get several of these factors all together, you're often talking about a very different type of webmaster than the fellow who just has a single site or two." SEO tip number 5. Keyword in the title tag. The title tag is a web page's second most important piece of content besides the content itself. Therefore, it sends a strong on-page SEO signal. SEO tip number 6 and number 7. Keyword in description tag. Another signal, not especially important now, but it still makes a difference. Keyword in H1 tag. H1 tags are a second title tag that sends another signal to Google. The more signals sent, the better. Search engine ranking tip number 8. The keyword is most frequently used phrase in the document. Having a keyword appear more than any other likely acts as a relevancy signal. SEO tip number 9. Content length. Content with more words can cover a wider breadth and are likely preferred to shorter superficial articles. And finally, in this part, tip number 10, keyword density. Although not as important as it once was, keyword density is still something Google uses to determine the topic of a web page. Going overboard can hurt you, so keep your keyword density between 1% and 2% for best results. And that's it for part 1 of how to be first on Google and search engine ranking factors from firstpagetraffic.com. Stay tuned for part 2.